To conclude today's session, I'm going to give you a quick look at the actual application at a high level. And as I said, confusingly enough, I'm going to use the application itself to show you how the application was built. Hopefully you'll get used to that concept, but this is a good tool for visualizing, and that's of course why we created it. So I can, for example, get all of the applications that exist on this system. The actual application analyzer, this is a top-level view of various pieces of information about the application. If I mount that application, now we're looking at the whole thing and all of the components within this application. And if I select the main web report, this is the item I mentioned in my slide that actually contains all of the startup information or the things to get this client going. So if we look at the source for this, you'll see the typical things you'll see in an HTML file, including all of the various Vue components that we're using to run the client. And then we've created an access point so that the client can reference various parameters in here. And you'll see, for example, this is version information, title information, and we're using WebReports constants here. And then some of the start off URLs. So for example, get all aspects URL allows the client to request the information it uses to build this menu. From there on out, each one of these items calls a web report, and part of the schema it returns over here includes the IDs that allow us to access additional web reports to provide additional pieces of information. Final thing I'll do here is to mount the web report, which builds a tree of all of the objects that are in this application. And as we'll look at further on, some of these are going to be called as requests. So client requests are these dotted lines. Some of these are called as sub-web reports. So we're using the structure of web reports at the top level, and then for smaller pieces of information, sometimes for specific cards in the app, we'll have a specific web report providing that information. And on that note, I'm going to call today's session to a close, and I hope to get some of you to come back as we go into a little bit more depth on some of the techniques we use to build this application. Thank you.